Allah has made Hajj compulsory upon you and I only if you are able and capable to undertake the journey. So if you look at Islam, we always say there are 5 pillars of Islam. One of the greatest ways of connecting with Allah is to uphold the 5 pillars of Islam. And one of the pillars, the last pillar, is known as Hajj. Why is it the last pillar? It is for 2 reasons. One is that it's only once a lifetime. You don't have to do it more than once. You only have to do it once in your life. Once you've done it once in your life, it should have allowed you to arrive at a level of connection with Allah that will change your life forever. Secondly, it is only if you can afford the journey in every way and you are physically able and you have the permission from the rulers or the authority on land to go there. So that means istita'a. Allah says, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. Allah has prescribed upon us, or for Allah upon us, is the pilgrimage of the house for those who are able to undertake the journey. That's the meaning of it. So you owe it to Allah and I owe it to Allah. When do I go? As soon as I can afford it, and Allah's given me the wealth and the capacity, the ability, and nowadays we call it the visa. So you apply for it, sometimes you don't get it. You are not sinful for as long as you tried. Similarly, if you cannot afford it, it's not compulsory on you. What is the meaning of affording? You afford the airfare, you afford the accommodation and the food while you are there, some of the expenses while you are there for the 5 days and a little bit before, a little bit after, the transport, and while you are out, all the obligations you have need to be fulfilled. If you have a debt of $5 million US, for example, and you are paying every month, for as long as the monthly installments for the time you are not going to be there are taken care of, Hajj is still farad on you even though you're in debt, because that is known as a prolonged debt. But if you owe someone money now and it's not prolonged, they are chasing you for it, then you obviously cannot afford it because you need to pay the debt first. So those are the 2 types of debts. One is a long-term debt. When there is a long-term debt, you only need to look at the time you're going to be out. And while you're, like rental, for example, for your property, while you are out, you make arrangements for that. Your electricity, your water, your school fees for children, whatever else it may be. For as long as while you're out, it's going to be taken care of, you have to go for Hajj. Similarly, you don't delay, say, never mind, I can afford it, but I'm still too young. No. Allah Almighty has decided and dictated. He is the one who decides when you're going to go for Hajj. That's it. You can afford it, you're able, you're capable, and so on. You need to go. When? The next possible Hajj. In Indonesia, and I was there 2 weeks back, it takes years before your name actually comes up on the list. You apply, sometimes 20 years later, your name comes up. In some countries, 15 years, 5 years. Nowadays, in South Africa as well, it takes a few years at times before your name comes. We are fortunate in Zimbabwe, the numbers are still pretty small. If you decide to go during the months of Hajj, you can still go for Hajj. May Allah Almighty make it easy for us. So we are fortunate in that regard. Now, sometimes people come up to you and say, listen, I need you to help me with some charity because I want to go for Hajj. That is wrong. In Islam, it is not permissible to give someone zakat in order to go for Hajj. It's like giving someone zakat to pay zakat. The guy says, listen, I don't have to pay zakat, but I want to pay zakat, so give me some zakat so that I can pay the zakat. It doesn't make sense. The same applies. If you want to go for Hajj, you go with your own money, or someone can send you, no problem. Someone can sponsor the trip, no problem, for as long as it's not from zakat. Zakat is for the basic needs of the people, needy people who have the food problems, the water problems, drinking, clothing, accommodation, medicine, etc., sometimes even education and so on. So to give someone zakat to go for Hajj is a mistake. May Allah Almighty protect us all. But when we make the journey, remember, you need to build yourself. You need to, like they say, psych yourself. I'm going for Hajj. This is a lifetime's journey, one opportunity. As I leave, I am making sure that I have made peace with Allah, and I'm going to make peace with the rest of the people, as many as I can. You seek forgiveness from people. I'm going for Hajj. They are not obliged to forgive you. You might go to someone, please forgive me, I'm going for Hajj. They say, I'm not going to forgive you. It's okay. That's his right. It was your problem. Why did you wrong him in the first place, right? It doesn't mean I'm going for Hajj, everything will be wiped out. No. If you have wronged a fellow human, it's not wiped out. So this is something interesting that you need to know. When you have done wrong to someone, backbiting, slander, etc., it's a very dangerous crime, because Allah forgives everything except the right of a fellow human being, which He leaves for that human being. When you go to them, listen, I'm going for Hajj, forgive me. They may say, okay, no problem, you are forgiven, everything is clear. But they may say, I haven't forgiven you. You've got to bear that in mind. May Allah make it easy. So, as you go for Hajj, make sure you've made everything in order. You have psyched yourself, like I said, I'm going for this journey, and I'm not going there with any intention besides to fulfill what Allah has promised. Why is it a pillar of Islam? A pillar. Because Allah loved the way Ibrahim alayhi salam adopted